Hey everybody, it's Chris with Chris's Comments. The last time I spoke, it was around election time last month. It's now Christmas week, so I'm gonna go ahead and talk about what's been happening lately concerning the school shooting in Wisconsin, the gangs that were arrested, the immigrant gangs that were arrested in Chicago, and the American gangs that shot up an SUV, killing one and injuring the other seven. A gang of teenagers shooting a gang of teenagers. Okay. The migrants first. The migrants is just dumb. Okay. To think that they're responsible for all migrants are responsible for migrant crime is just dumb. Okay. The only real people that are responsible, the only real person that are responsible for the migrant crimes are people like my Texas governor, Greg Abbott, who immediately who's flown and even trained on Amtrak. I've never ridden a train, but they got service having a train going to a sanctuary city. Okay. People like my governor and his administration, they're the ones that are responsible for that. Plain and simple. They're the ones responsible for that. They shared no papers with other political leaders, no information, no nothing. Not even as to whether or not they were tested for COVID. Okay? I've said this countless of times, and I'm going to say it again. Nobody's guilty of anything concerning those migrant gangs, except for our political leaders that trained, and flew them there. Okay. Which is an entirely different concept, but nevertheless, the same crime. A gang of kids shooting at another gang of kids. The SUV flipped over and it caught on fire. And these kids this little gang still jumped out of their vehicles and shot at the tipped over SUV. Okay. And what does that have to do with the little girl, the 15-year-old girl that shot up a school? Well, not too much, except for when everybody says, why, how could this happen? Usually everybody blames the music, which is exactly what is going on with this one little girl, this 15-year-old girl that shot up her school. Okay. A photo released by her father had a KMFDM t-shirt. For those of you who don't know who that is, it's an industrial rock band from the 1990s. They came out around the same time as Ministry, who is also known for doing, not so much industrial rock, but it borderlines along with industrial rock. Okay. And industrial rock is very Antifa, very anarchy at the same time. Okay. KMFDM, but back to the KMFDM t-shirt, the band does have songs like Stray Bullet and lyrics like Stray Bullet from the heaven above, Stray Bullet, I'm the illegitimate son of God. Okay. And while they're singing that, it's, I'm the illegitimate bang, bang, son of God. Okay. It's glorifying shooting in public, shooting out into the air. Now, keep in mind, shooting out into the air is an entirely different concept of gun usage in this case. Okay? Because this girl went into a building, past a bunch of people, bunch of students and administrative staff, past the office, past everybody, went up the stairs, past a couple of classrooms, and went into one classroom to shoot a teacher, an entirely different student, and then just spray the place. before turning the gun on herself. Now, that's a very specific killing. And that has got nothing to do with music, okay? I do apologize for this. My throat is going dry. I do apologize for that. That's a very specific death. A very specific use of killing of guns. As is the American gangs, the American gangsters that shot up that SUV. They were targeted. They were chased till the vehicle flipped over, caught on fire, and that they were still shot at. It was determined by that young clique of gangsters with their machine guns to shoot into the SUV. That despite the fact that they were all probably catching fire and all this stuff, the vehicle caught on fire. They could have been toasted or whatever. It's irrelevant. It was irrelevant to that gang, which again was an American gang. The illegal gang, was from Venezuela, and they invaded from what the helicopter footage showed on the news, 6-building apartment complex up in Chicago or Illinois area. Okay. Here's the thing. Everybody out there right now is posting their opinions. They're saying the music, that made her do it. They're saying, well, it's Baltimore, which was Democratic, that had a Democratic governor at one time, and it's all full of blacks, and that they're all dangerous like that. They're all dangerous like that. There's always a lot of violence. And then they're going over to Illinois. Well, these are illegal migrants, and they're all dangerous and all this good stuff. So the accusations are there, which then leads to why and how. Now, technically you can't say music, because somebody like me, whose childhood was Kiss and Ozzy Osbourne, not kissing Ozzy Osbourne, the rock band Kiss and Ozzy Osbourne, at most I was labeled the devil worshiper, but I never believed it. I've never bitten the heads off of any animal. I've never gone out dressed up with makeup and sang about, boning, chicks and, dying in car crash and all this other crap and Strutter and all that. I was never a sex fiend. Okay. I am to understand that Kiss also exposed themselves in front of a little girl that was put up on stage. But I don't know if that was true or not. I can't remember. I was never tempted to do that, and I've never had that done to me either. So as far as this music goes, that's a very false accusation. That's not an excusable answer. No more than it would be with the American gangsters in Baltimore. Rap music made them do it? Seriously? Hip hop? So we gotta arrest Drake or The Weeknd? Really? Will Smith, he slapped somebody on a stage. Do we got to come down on him? I think he's already coming down on the attending some of the Diddy parties. But there's nothing in the music, back to this subject, there's nothing in this music that told those kids to target these other kids in an SUV, run them off the road, shoot them while they're down, flipped over and on fire. That's not an answer. Here's what is an explanation. Those Chicago, the gangs in Chicago that were from Venezuela, well, we know who put them there. It wasn't Biden. It was my Texas governor, Greg Abbott. It was the Florida governor as well, George DeSantis. But it was mostly my governor, who immediately put all these gangsters, along with other asylum seekers, on buses, who flew them to these sanctuary cities, who even put them on trains. Okay, so technically we do have an answer to at least one of those gun-related problems. The idea of blaming music or something mediocrity is just kind of stupid. Okay, especially in this day and age. I'm a prime example of that. I grew up watching the A-Team throughout the 80s, and by the time I became a young adult in the 90s, I was smoking doobies and, getting drunk watching the Power Rangers. Not once did I go out and attack people. Not once did I shoot a machine gun in a public place. Okay? To this day, and I'm in my 50s now. Okay? Blaming entertainment is just dumb. It always has been. Blaming race in neighborhoods, in certain cities, locations, and all this other stuff, that's also dumb. Okay? Because you saw a gang violence being aired amongst the city of tons of black people and other ethnicities in Baltimore, that work for a living, that try to make ends meet for a living. No differently than those in the Chicago area and the Illinois area. Okay? That gang has been reported since August. Okay? So for everybody to say, well, all of these migrants need to be removed, well, no, just those bad people need to be removed. For everybody to go on and trying to lash out at any migrant that they see is just as messed up as it was everybody attacking every Asian during the time of the pandemic. And some of them weren't even Chinese. You could clearly see the guy was Filipino and he was attacked. Okay? That's not right. And I want to say this right here at the very, at the closing of this segment. Everybody that thinks that they've got the bad guy and that it's going to be okay to lash out at them, you're not being patriotic, okay? You're just a hater. You're just a person of hate, okay? You're definitely not a patriot. Everybody that thinks that we should just kill everybody and all this other shit and let God sort them out and all this other crap, guys, that gang, that vicious gang, has been reported and exposed as far back as August. This is December. It's Christmas week now. And they just now got all of them round up. None of you patriots did anything. Okay? In point of fact, I'm gonna add a little bit more salt to the wound. The only thing you patriots are known for is going over to rallies where equal rights and discrimination needs to be speaking about, exposed, where minimum wage raisers need to rally. Okay? The only thing you patriots did was attack them, calling them un-American. They're not trying to traffic people. They're not trying to take over an apartment complex and attack and victimize people. Okay? These guys were reported on as far back as August. These guys were reported exposed as far back during the summertime when that cop got beat up and then later on apprehended in an entirely different state. You're patriots to nothing. You're not patriots of anything. You're just a bunch of people of hate. And this also needs to be looked into. This also needs to be looked at by law enforcement, government agencies, the IRS. I don't care. You got enough bullets and gas money to go cruising around and looking for a victim, then yeah, shit. Put some power back into the IRS and have them look into your into that person, that patriot's life. So yeah, I mean, this seriously has to be talked about. I've been quiet this entire time because I'm personally just waiting for 2025. I'm waiting for all of the bad stuff that's being predicted to happen so I can join in. I've already talked about the closing of the borders and how it's messing up trade. $24 million an hour just off of Texas. Okay, that crosses the border. $24 million per hour. So when they say we're going to lose billions, yeah, we're going to lose tens of billions of dollars, to be more specific. Okay, it's if all borders are closed and all this good stuff. We're gonna be losing tens of billions of dollars every year. We're gonna be going worse and worse into some kind of financial crisis. Okay, so that's the reason why I've been quiet all this time. I made my prediction, and I'm just waiting for the stuff to come. But while I'm waiting, all of these shootings have been taking place, and I'm pretty sure that all the accusations and all of the lashings of hate is going to start happening unless everybody, even a nobody like me with only 16 followers, speaks up, and I hate to say that because one time I said all three, Prince Andrew, Bill Clinton, and Donald Trump, all need to be thrown in federal prison for visiting Epstein Island. Just whether you want to believe it or not, the fact of the matter is that they all went there. Okay, they were all buddies with Epstein, and they all visited his island. Okay, and ergo they all have cases of rape on them. I said they should all be thrown in prison, and I wound up losing 3 whole followers at the time. So again, I've got no following. I've got a small voice on this streaming service, but even my small voice has to say something. Especially when stuff like this is gonna take a turn for the worse. There's going to be acts of hate, and they're going to be acts of hate that are going to be claimed to be patriotic, if not self-claimed by the gunmen or the attackers. Okay? They're not patriotic. They're just people of hate. We have to remind ourselves of these things. Okay? We have to remind ourselves of these things. Those dudes, they're jerk-offs. Plain and simple. They had a gang that they could have eliminated from as far back as August, and they didn't do squat. What they did is go ban books. What they did was bring hate to cross-dressers. That's all they did. That's all they did. The patriots of the United States of America. So everybody keep cool, spread the word. Spread the word. Spread the word. We're not going to be lashing out at anybody. Each individual gun crime that took place these past couple of weeks has to be taken care of. Well, technically, the gangs got arrested already. But those are just the migrant gangs. The American gangs, nobody knows who they are yet. Speak your voice. Speak up. Learn the difference and make sure that anybody and everybody that's trying to spew this hate at you, that all those people need to be removed. All that place is bad because of those people. This girl, what was she listening to? This music is bad and all this other garbage. No. Stay focused, everybody. Stay focused and speak these truths. Let them know that you know the difference between these crimes, the similarities as well, but that any of this stuff that is this one solution thing, that's nothing but hype or propaganda. And you're not going to fall for it. no differently than I will. Okay? Let them know, for all we know, you're actually opening the eyes of somebody that's listening to propaganda or rhetoric right now and is under the assumption that all migrants are evil. And, well, Baltimore's full of minorities, so you know that's violent. And this girl, oh no, she's a victim of music. I'm pretty sure, again, I'll put money on it. I'm pretty sure there's some preachings that were taught to her that made her enact this hate. And even still, it's a horse of a different color by way of specifically walking into the going into a building, going upstairs, ignoring tons of students, classrooms, administrators, administrative offices, and everything, and shooting this one teacher and another student, and then spraying the place till she puts the gun on herself. That's a very specific crime. Okay? So I want you guys to take care, stay focused, because we're just not out of the woods yet. And hopefully we'll be able to get all of this clearing out of the way so we can actually enjoy our Christmas. Have a holly jolly Christmas and happy holidays. So y'all take care. Y'all take it easy. Stay safe out there. And just try not to fall into this mediocrity, propaganda, pro ratings, news briefs, and all this stuff. I'm coming out saying, this guy on the internet is coming out saying music's got nothing to do with any of those shootings. Okay? Whether it be KMFDM or rap music or polkas, bum, 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 bum. You know, none of that polka music told any of those Venezuelans to be gangs here in Chicago or here in the States, in Illinois. Okay? It had nothing to do with that. All right? Acts of hate were committed, and we just have to be sure that we address that and to tell everybody, sorry, we know the difference. Okay? We know the differences between the hype and the propaganda and what's actually going on with these crimes. And patriots have nothing to say. They need to shut up. They were exposed as far back as August. No patriot went to Illinois to stop that gang. No one. None of them. Okay? They're out harassing cross-dressers and they're out banning books. That's what these patriots are doing. Fuck them. Sorry. F them. Y'all take care. Y'all take it easy. Stay safe out there. This is Chris. Chris's Comments, signing out.